Hi, welcome or welcome back to Sarah Lily Makes. My name is Sarah, and this is my journaling space here on YouTube where I like to talk about and document and share all the things I have been making. Today's episode, I'd like to talk about all the things I want to make this holiday and winter season. So if you're interested in what I'd like to get up to this winter, I invite you to grab whatever craft or project you're working on and get cozy, and let's get started. If you notice my blinking is a little weird or I'm dabbing in my eye, I apologize. I'm not trying to be distracting. I have some eye problems and I've been struggling with it for a while, but I have a surgery scheduled next month and I'm just ready to be done with this issue and resolve this problem, but I apologize. I'll do my best to edit out me dabbing in my eye or wiping away. But yeah, that's just a brief disclaimer before I get into the episode. If you are new, welcome. Thank you for being here today, and I hope you choose to stick around. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'd love to know what you're working on. I enjoy knitting while watching others, so I hope you can share what you're working on while you're watching me talk about my winter plans today. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you for continuing to support my channel, and it really means so much to me that you're here today listening to me chat and ramble and go on and on about knitting, because I probably will go on and on today. I have a lot that I want to get to, but before I get into my plans, I'll talk about what I'm wearing. I am wearing the Cornelia Cardigan, which is a pattern from Sandnes Garn. It is an all-over cable and lace and texture cardigan, and it was a really fun knit. I really enjoyed working on this. I started on it in 2023, like the end of fall 2023, and I finished it not 2023, sorry, 2024. I started it in fall of 2024, and I finished it in like the end of January this year. So I've shared this, not my last episode, but the episode before, I shared this project. And I knitted this with alpaca wool and alpaca Filcolana from Sandnes Garn. And I knitted it according to the pattern directions using the yarn and needle and everything according to the pattern specifications for my size. And I love how this turned out. I have worn it quite a few times since I finished making it, and I like wearing it partially buttoned, like so. And I just have on, this isn't even a shirt, it's just like a dickie. It's just a strip of fabric with a collar. And I have a few of these that I like to throw under my sweaters just to give it a little extra pizzazz or whatever. Anyway, moving on. Let's get started. So as always, if you have been following me for a while, you know I tend to get a little overzealous with my plans. I haven't done any plans videos this year because I haven't really been active on YouTube very much. And so I think I went a little bit overboard, as per usual for me, anyway, with my winter plans. And I'm going to categorize these into two different categories. My holiday / gift knitting plans, which I want to knit things for my family members, and my winter plans. So holiday gift knitting plans and my winter knitting plans. 2 of my 4 kids are winter babies. My daughter is turning 17 in a few days. Today's December 7th, and she's turning 17 in a few days. And then my younger son, his birthday is January 1st. So I like to make them a gift knit. I've done so for them in the past 3 to 5 years, and I just like it, and they like it. So for my daughter, I asked her what she wanted, and I let her pick I'll let her pick the yarn, I'll let her pick the pattern, I'll let her just, be in charge and take control of her project. And she picked the Vienna Blouse, which is a pattern from Sandnes Garn, which is and this is from the pattern booklet 2302, Sandnes Garn DIY booklet from 2023. I've knitted a few patterns from this booklet already, and I want to make a couple more, which is part of the course for me. But yeah, so she picked the Vienna Blouse, and the pattern calls for 2 strands of Tynn silk mohair held together on 3.5 millimeter needles. I knitted the size extra small for her, which is a bust of 92, length of 53, and sleeve 57 centimeters according to the pattern instructions. But I made a few modifications. I went with a size 4. I knitted the garment on a size 4 millimeter needles, and I used double Sunday because that's the yarn I had that she wanted me to make. Now, I didn't have enough of the double Sunday, but I had some Sunday in the same color, a different dye lot, and they worked fine together. I ended up using 8.5 balls of double Sunday and a full ball and a half of Sunday for the rest of the body. And I'll share it here. And this is the first thing I really wanted to make this winter for anyone, for myself or family member. And I talked a lot about this in my last episode, so I'm not going to go too much into details with it. But it is a saddle shoulder construction, and you knit the back. You're doing short rows here, and then you pick up, after you do the saddle shoulders, you pick up here. These saddle stitches are on hold while you pick up the front panels, and then you knit down, doing short rows along here as well. Doing short rows along here. And for some reason, I didn't end up doing my short rows here. So I ended up with an extra panel of fabric that I talked about. You can see it in my last episode. I just modified it by sewing it down into onto the I-cord. So I seam blocked it, and then I added an I-cord into the stitches where the seam line was, where I wanted it to be. And I just added the I-cord there. It's finished with I-cord along the body as well. And instead of a folded hem, like the pattern recommends, I ended up doing an I-cord because I was just having fun knitting I-cords. Not really, but I kind of just really wanted to do the I-cord, and I did it. So you knit the length that you want for the cardigan, and then you bind off at the seam here. And then you pick up a bunch of stitches by doubling. So you pick up one stitch and then you do an increase into that stitch. And then, so you're supposed to double the amount of stitches you have when you cast off. Somehow I ended up with like 50 extra stitches. I don't know how, but somehow I ended up with 50 extra stitches. It worked out fine. It's cute. It's just a little extra amount of fabric at the back, but it's still really cute. And she really likes it, and that's really all that matters. So that's the Vienna Blouse from Sandnes Garn, and that was the first thing I wanted to make for my holiday plans, and I finished it in time for her birthday, which is kind of shocking because the last couple of years I finished her sweater like the day before or on her birthday. So I'm glad that this is done. And moving on to the other thing I wanted to make for her birthday as well. And I talked about this as well last time. I wanted to make her a pair of fingerless mittens for her birthday as a birthday gift. I have finished half. I have finished one half. Well, okay, I finished one side of the mitten, and I'll just put it on. I need to add elastic to this because I didn't follow the pattern exactly. I did some modifications in that I did not do ribbing on all the edges. So I didn't do the ribbing at the cuff, I didn't do the ribbing at the thumb, and I didn't do the ribbing at the top. I am fine with that, but it does kind of gap. If you can tell right here, there's a little bit of gap. So I have some elastic thread that I'm planning on just sewing at the very top. The thumb is perfectly secure and snug, as is the wrist portion. So I love these and I want to make more mittens. I don't know why I haven't made I have made few mittens in the past, but they're just fun. And if I haven't said what this pattern is. This is the Christmas pudding mittens from Charlotte Stone. Christmas pudding mittens from Charlotte Stone. And I am using all 3 ring weight yarns. I am using Filcolana Arwetta, which is the main color. And then I'm using Sandnes Garn for the rest. So the greens and white. The green, no, not the green and white. The green and the beige, that is this beige contrast color on the board, within the border, is Sandnes Garn Sunday in the petite knit green and the petite knit and a marzipan color, I think. And then the white is Filcolana Arwetta in white. And then the red is some leftover Tynn Gynt that I had that I will talk about in. But I have used just a variety of different yarns on this, and it's fine. It's all, similar weights, so it didn't really make that much of a difference. I messed up quite a bit because I'm not used to working on really small needles, and I've talked about this the last time too. I used these Addy flexi tip, and it took a little bit of time to kind of get the hang of it. But like with the color work where I'm switching from one needle to the other, it's a little bit disjointed and not that great looking. But honestly, I don't care. And she's really not going to care too. The only thing it needs is elastic, and that's it. And this, a mate needs the second one. So I need to finish this in like 2 days to have this ready for her. Technically, we're having her birthday party at the end of the week, so I don't have to have it finished because I'm not going to gift it to her until the following end of the week, next Saturday. So it's fine if I don't finish it, but I'd like to get it done. But I don't think it'll take me that long. It really took me, like, once I sat down and I actually wanted to work on this, it took me just like an evening to finish the color work, and that was really easy. And the thumb went by super fast as well. So yeah, I just have one more glove to make for this. And that's my second gift knit for my daughter. I think she knows I'm making it. I don't know. She's seen me post about it, but I haven't said that I was making it for her, and I haven't mentioned it to her. So I don't think she might know that I am, but whatever. It doesn't matter. All right. The third thing that I want to make, I already cast on as well, and it is a holiday sweater for my youngest. I like to make my younger son and my younger daughter, my 2 younger kids, I like to make them a holiday sweater each year. I have done so for the past 4 or 5 years. And it's just fun. I like it, and they like it, and it's just kind of become a little tradition. I haven't made myself a holiday sweater yet, or like a themed sweater. We'll get to that. I obviously don't have time this year, and I keep saying that every year for the past 3 years. I'll make myself a holiday sweater, and I just never get around to it. So hopefully next year I can get one for myself. But I have started knitting, the Cookie Parade sweater, which is a free pattern from Drops. And before I show the pattern, a little bit of a disclaimer. I know there's some controversy around Drops patterns. I don't want to get into that too much. I just wanted to say that I appreciate that they have free patterns. I think it's accessible, and I think that's great. And
that's all I'll say on that topic. So, moving on, I am making the Cookie Parade sweater for my youngest, and this is how it is turning out. I am actually really, really, really loving this. And my other two kids who are at home, they both want me to make them this too. And I want to make me this too. So I don't know who's going to get it next, but this is for my youngest. She's 6. I am making this like size 8. So this is going to be a little bit or a lot oversized on her, and that's okay. Because I've done it in the past where I make her a sweater like 1 to 2 sizes up, and she just outgrows it really quickly. So I said to myself this year, I'm not going to let this sweater just get worn for 1 or 2 Christmases. This is going to get worn for at least 3 Christmases. So it's a little oversized. And on another note on that is that I am also knitting this way off gauge. So the recommended yarn, I don't remember what it is. I don't have it. It's a drops. I don't remember what yarn is recommended. I'll write it here if I find what it is. I do have the pattern, so I'll just look it up real fast. The yarn that is recommended is Drops Sky, which I think is a sport Sudiche weight yarn. So it's not that off gauge. I'm using double Sunday and alpaca wool from Sandnes Garn for this sweater. So the double Sunday is some yarn I had in stock in my yarn collection for a while. I had 4 balls, and I had some white double Sunday and the alpaca wool. I didn't have any red double Sunday in this shade of red that I really, really wanted, but it is this same shade of red. It's this yarn. I had 2 extra balls after knitting this cardigan, and the gauge is similar to the double Sunday. The thickness is the metered is very similar. I believe the alpaca is like 108. No, 100, and the double Sunday is 108 meters per 50 grams. So they work together very well, and I have no complaints about this. I am really, 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 really loving this. I steam blocked it so that you could, see it, all the pretty colorwork in its full possibilities. But my tension at the start was a little rough, like on this 1x1 colorwork section here. It's supposed to be the exact same as down here, and this one it's just so much better than the top. And yeah, my tension improved a lot as I was knitting the sweater. So it is what it is. It's perfectly fine. She loves it. So I did a few things differently as well besides the yarn. You're supposed to do this last set of colorwork in the nougat, this brown and white, and I decided I wanted to keep it red because I thought it looked like candy canes, and I loved it, and I just thought it was cute. And yeah, so you might notice that I have 2 sleeves going. One sleeve is not finished actually. One sleeve the yarn is cut, and then I started working the other sleeve because I wanted to kind of mimic the red and white going on here on the ribbing here, and I thought about doing corrugated rib. Now, I've not done that before, so I'm interested to try it, and that is what's going to happen. I'm not sure about binding off in corrugated rib. If you have any advice, I would so appreciate it, because I was looking up some videos and I was like, there isn't really any videos showing how to bind off in corrugated ribbing, and I could probably just bind off in 1x1, or just a single bind off in the round, and I'm not sure yet. So if you have any advice, I would so appreciate that on what do you think I should do with the bind off on the ribbing. But I did finish this. I am wanting to start the ribbing. But before I started the ribbing, I decided to go work on this one. So this is kind of just all over the place. There's a sleeve mostly finished, a sleeve mostly finished, and then the body. I wanted to finish off what I have on this ball of yarn before getting back to the body, because I only have one ball left. You might have remembered I said I had 4 balls of this brown. So I just wanted to make sure that I could finish the sleeve, both sleeves, before getting back to the body and making sure I'm not running out of yarn, because I don't like playing yarn chicken. But I was also kind of planning on doing the corrugated ribbing anyway, so that will help with me not having to play yarn chicken. And I have one more work in progress holiday gift knit plant that I will talk about right now. I am test knitting the Calgary Bay sweater for, oh, I don't have the picture. I'll insert a picture here. I am testing the Calgary Bay sweater for Coco Amore Knitwear, and I requested either a size 1 or a size 3. I would make myself a size 3 and a size 1 for my daughter. So I went ahead and decided to make the size 1 as a Christmas gift knit for my daughter, because she had been telling me I haven't been making much stuff for her. And so I said, okay, well, I will make you this sweater as a Christmas gift. So I let her pick the yarn again. Well, not the main yarn. I am using COS, and you are supposed to pair it with a Suri alpaca lace or lace weight yarn. And I'm pairing it with this gorgeous Explore Knits and Fibers Suri alpaca lace in the color Lavandula. Lavandula. So I let her pick the Suri. She couldn't pick this because I only had a certain amount of this for her size, so she didn't really have much of a choice. It was this one, and then she got to pick the Suri. So I had a few different Suri colors that I let her pick, and she picked that one. This is an all-over reverse half fisherman's rib, top down, half button sweater. And I have worked the back. Did I share this? I can't remember if I shared this or not on this podcast, but I have started this and I am making good progress on it, where I am not in a rush. The deadline is January 2nd, and I'm making this as a Christmas gift, so there's no real rush on this. But I did want to get some progress done because it is a test knit and a gift knit. So I just really love the texture of half fisherman's rib, but this is reverse, so the inside is on the outside. This is what half fisherman's rib is generally. It might be hard to see, but yeah, this is so much fun. This is so squishy, and I'm just having a lot of fun with this. So I have knitted the back panel, and you're doing increases as you're knitting the back. It's a drop shoulder, and then you knit down, then you pick up each of the front panels, then you do increases to shape the neck, and then you knit down for where you're going to put the placket. I think that is what front neck placket. But anyway, it's just a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun test knitting this, and I'm having a lot of fun just seeing this yarn just knit up. It's very subtle, but it's very wintry in my opinion, and I thought it would be just a great winter knit to make. And I'm having a lot of fun with this. Yeah. I'm very excited to actually pick up the neck placket. So what my plan is, I have a little bit of yarn left on both the COS and the alpaca. So once I run out of the COS, I think I'll start picking up the neckband and see how that turns out. But I'm loving all the other testers' design projects, how they're turning out. Everyone has such unique and different tastes, and it's just so fun to see it all. And I feel like I haven't really wanted to test much this year. I decided to join in on this test because I love Cheryl's designs. I applied for a few of them, and this was the one that I got into. And I feel like it's been motivating me. I had lost my knitting energy for like the first half of the year, and I just feel good to have it back, and I feel good that I can test knit again because I just couldn't bring myself to test knit earlier this year. But I'm glad that this is coming along. This is, like I said, I'm making the size 1 for my daughter as a gift knit. She knows I'm making it. She picked the yarn, so all in all, a really fun knit, and I'm excited to continue working on this, but it's not at the top of my list because I have other things that I want to make. And then I talked about not making myself any Christmas sweaters and wanting to make myself Christmas sweaters or a holiday themed sweater of some sort. And I really wanted to do the Sandnes Garn Christmas tree sweater that they released this year. In fact, I bought the yarn for it, and I bought one of the children's versions I was originally planning on making for my daughter, and I ended up with that cookie parade sweater. I wasn't originally planning on making that at all. I was planning on making the Christmas tree sweater from Sandnes Garn. I'll insert a picture here so you know what I'm talking about. But I bought the yarn and I bought the pattern and I started knitting it, and I got like an inch into the pattern and I just could not wrap my head around this pattern. It wasn't overly complicated. I think it was just my brain was tired. It's the end of the day, and it really was the end of the day. It was probably like 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. or something, and my brain was just turned off and I couldn't figure it out. So I said, this is not going to be worth my sanity. I want to make something that I will enjoy, and I want to make something that my daughter would love. So I ripped it out. I didn't even take any pictures of anything of it. I just ripped it out and I said, I can't do it. I don't want to do it. And I wanted to do the adult version as well. So I figured if I can't do the kids version, might as well not even bother with the adult version, because that's not going to make sense either. So instead, all of that to say, I decided to go with one of their more recent design releases, the novice sweater Paljeet. I apologize if I'm saying that incorrectly. I actually Googled how to pronounce it and I forgot. But it's this pattern. I have it here. And I did a swatch. I haven't started on it. I just gauge swatch. It's not the novice sweater, sorry. The rookie sweater Paljeet edition. I don't know how to say that. Anyway, I made a swatch. I want to use the recommended yarn, ballerina chunky, and the yarn that's, it's a sequin yarn, and it's really fun and it's really festive, and I feel like I would really love to make this for myself for Christmas, for this holiday season. So I knitted up a swatch earlier, and this is what it looks like. Now I'm going to be really frank. This is not very comfortable, and I've knitted a few ballerina chunky mohair projects, and I like that yarn just fine, but I think the sequence is what's not really comfortable, and it's sequence, so that makes sense. So that's fine with me. I'm not making this to wear every day. It's not an everyday sweater. It's a special occasion sweater. It's for the holiday season. I can wear it on special occasions, not just Christmas. So I'm fine with that. And I'm fine that it's not comfortable because I will just have something underneath anyway. So yeah, that's just a bit of my thoughts on that. It's not the most comfortable, but it's okay because it is a holiday special occasion garment. Yeah. So I will be knitting this on the recommended needle size of 7 millimeters. Yes, 7mm needles. I am not a big fan of like chunky needles, but I don't mind. I feel like this will knit up fairly quickly on those needles, and I mean, it's really pretty. It's super pretty. I'm really excited about this. Yeah, that is the rookie sweater. And I want to make a couple of small gift knits for just family members, and I want to make a couple of weekend hats because those are fairly quick to knit, and I feel like I could make that in 2 days, 2 to 3 days, and that'll be great. So the first one I want to make is with this leftover yarn that I have. This is not this color. This is from my Mindy Chunky sweater that I also shared in the episode that I talked about this sweater. And this is just leftovers that I have from that sweater. So I had 2, somehow I always end up with like 2 balls extra from all my Sandnes Garn patterns. So I feel like it's not going to be a waste because I'm using it for something else, and that's totally fine. So I have 2 of these, and this is all that I have left of the alpaca Filcolana, and I think that is more than enough for 1 weekend hat. And I'm gonna just gift it to somebody in the family. And then the second weekend hat I want to make with leftover yarn that I also used this year. And I made a slip over for my son, and I want to make him a matching weekend hat with the matching yarn. So this is the Double Sunday Matcha, the petite knit color, and my dog he gets into my yarn sometimes, and he tears up the ball bands. Anyway, this is the second beanie that I have planned for my son, because I probably will not get to make him a Christmas sweater, which is really sad because he loves them, and I probably won't get to it. So those are the 2 weekend hats that I have planned, and these are very quick projects, so I'm not worried, I'm not concerned about getting those done. I don't feel pressured too much about those, and I feel like it'll be fine. It will be fine. And one last thing I want to make, not specifically for the holidays, but because my son turns 14 on the 1st of January, I wanted to make him a birthday sweater. Do I have the yarn? Yes. So I made the Rid sweater, which is the pattern from Sandnes Garn. I made that for myself, and I said I wanted to make my son a matching one. But I decided I think I want to make it a little bit more wintry, even though it's after Christmas that he'll be getting it. So I'm going to be using not the recommended yarn for the main body, but I'll be using Tynn Gynt held double, and I only have 1 ball here. But this is a gorgeous tweedy yarn, and it's so wintry, and it is very festive, but it's not going to be for Christmas. But that's okay. And I'm going to hold it with the recommended brushed alpaca in white. So I had originally planned on making his semi-matching to mine. Mine is brown. Mine is monk's robe, and the Peer Gynt is monk's robe, and then the contrast color, which is ballerina chunky, is like sky blue or something like that. The kids version, I was going to use the Double Sunday in monk's robe, but I felt like it was too fall, and by the time I make this, it's winter. So I kind of just waffled back and forth whether I wanted to use the brown and make it kind of a fall, or use the green and make it kind of a wintry one. So I'm most likely leaning towards this, but if I change my mind and go back to the fall version, then yeah, we'll see. My battery's dying, so I'm going to change it really fast.
Okay, I think this one might also die soon, so I better hurry it up. So those are my holiday plans. Now I have a few things that I want to knit when we roll into 2025. So I have all the things for my holiday plan, my holiday gift, birthday, all of that. That's done. The first thing that I want to make for myself is a petite knit pattern. So I haven't made a petite knit pattern in forever. And I'm deciding between these two patterns. It's either the Stockholm sweater v-neck or the Hannah sweater v-neck. So I really love the Hannah sweater that she just recently came out with. And I haven't made it myself a v-neck sweater in quite a few years. And I'm not going to count the Cumulus blouse because that's not really a sweater, it's a blouse, you know? So I want to make either that, the Hannah or the Stockholm v-neck. The Stockholm v-neck has been in my queue on my to make list forever. And it's been on there for a really long time. And I just haven't gotten around to it, but I really want to make it for myself. I want to make a v-neck sweater for myself this year. And so I'm having a hard time deciding between those two because I love the look of both of them. And I love the collar, the V of the Stockholm. I mean, I love the V of the Hannah as well, but I don't know. But I have this brown yarn. This is the Sandnes Garn Atlas. It's not the exact color in her sample. I think hers is her like petite knit color, and this is just a Sandnes Garn color, not a collaboration with petite knit. So I want to make this. If I do end up making the v-neck, Hannah v-neck, it will be with this yarn. And I have a whip that is currently ongoing, and I mentioned it in my last episode, but I put it on hold to work on my holiday and winter stuff. But I think it is the same color. So I'm not 100% sure, but I do want to use this yarn, even if it is similar to another yarn, another color that I have on my needle, because I really like this brown and I don't have anything else in this color in my closet. So yeah. But yeah, I'm mostly leaning toward the Hannah v-neck because because I want to use this yarn. And we'll see. We'll see how that goes. The second thing that I want to make is the Mouline Cardigan from Lay Knit. Let me see if I have it here. Yes, I do. My printer was running out of ink, so pardon that. But I've had this pattern in my library to make for a really long time too, ever since it came out, because she has this version, which is a DK weight version, and she has a chunky version. And I was contemplating whether or not I wanted to make the chunky weight version. But I have a few chunky cardigans, or like not really chunky, but more worsted to Aran weight cardigans. And I feel like the DK weight cardigans in my closet is lacking. So I wanted a nice v-neck. I love the look of the button band. I think a lot of people are confused with the instruction, or the description rather, of this cardigan. It says that the rib button bands are knitted to the cardigan at the same time as the front bands are worked. But it's not knitted at the same time that the cardigan is worked. And I think that's what the confusion is. It is a double knit button band, and you knit it like you knit a double knit button band. You knit it together on the cardigan as you're knitting it. I think what the instruction or the description is implying is that you knit the button band separately and then you attach it to the cardigan. That's my take anyway. And I think that's where there's a little bit of discrepancy. But it is a double knit button band, and I'm actually really excited about this. I love it's a contiguous or European shoulder construction. Can't really see because of my printing, but I think this is going to be knitted this winter, in January at least. And I have some hand-dyed yarn that I really, really want to use for this. As we go from winter to spring, I feel like I need some springy, pretty colors in my life. And I'm planning on using this hand-dyed yarn from Woolberry Fiber Co. that I've had for a little while. And I'm really excited to use it. So this is Woolberry and Fiber Co. Paris. In Berry Tweed, I'm sorry, not Berry Tweed, Berry Natural, which is a 100% non-superwash merino with 400 yards per 100 grams. I don't understand why you put yards with grams, but whatever. And this one is Berry Suri, which is 65% cereal alpaca with 35% silk, and 437 yards per 50 grams. So this is the plan for this. And the recommended yarn is a fingering and a lace weight, so it should be more than fine. She uses Arwetta and Tilia. So I'm going to be using this for when I knit this Mouline cardigan. I said Mouline because I also want to make a Mouline blouse from Sandnes Garn. But I think I will hold off on that for the spring because, yeah, I don't think I could. Not with all the things that I want to make right now. And I have 2 more things that I want to make. I normally start the year with a cable garment like this one, although this kind of transferred from the previous year. And the year before I did the twist loop sweater from Other Loops, which was a fun knit overall. And I like casting on like a cable garment at the start of the year. So the one that I really want to make, and I wavered between these 2 patterns for a really long time. Either the Dagmar zipper sweater, which I really want to make at some point in my life because I want to make a zipper sweater, a cable zipper sweater, or the Wilbur Sweater from Sandnes Garn. And I eventually settled on the Wilbur Sweater from Sandnes Garn because I just love it. And I have it here. So this is one of their patterns that they re-released because this pattern already exists, and it is a free pattern, not this specific Wilbur sweater, but they have a Wilbur sweater on their website that is a free download, and you can use their recycled tweed yarn. I'm just throwing that out there if you're interested in that. It's a sport/DK weight project. Sport yarn, you use 4mm needles. Anyway, I am rambling. I want to make this Wilbur sweater with the recommended yarn, which is the Atlas, and it is the sample. Now this is very unlike me because I haven't knitted a neutral color yarn in almost a year. And I want to knit this because I want a neutral cable sweater in my closet. I need one. I have this cable that's bright red. I actually do have one beigey cable sweater, so I'm kind of lying, but I still want this. I still want this stuff. And the final thing that I want to make is kind of my own design. I have no intention of like being a knitwear designer or anything like that. I can't. I could not possibly. I feel like that is too much stress for me. That's not going to be my life. But my daughter and I were window shopping the other day, and we were at Anthropology, and I saw this really cute cardigan. I'll put pictures here because it's so cute. And I really wanted, I wasn't going to buy it. It was like $200 or something. That's the logic, right? I wouldn't buy a garment for $200, but I would make the garment with that much worth of yarn. Yeah, that's fine. Anyway, I swatched for it, and I'm really happy with how it is looking.
And it's not quite the pink that is the color in the cardigan sample, but I still really like this. And I feel like the pink and the brown are such a dramatic contrast, but it's also something so classic. And I'm really excited about this. I really want to make this, but I'm not going to cast on this until the new year. So this is based off, I don't even remember the name of the cardigan. I took screenshots of it. When I came back home and I searched it up and I took some screenshots, so I'll insert it up here. But I want to make this so badly, and I don't, so I'm kind of just constructing it from a picture. And I know we have opinions about stuff like that. Listen, I am making this for myself. I'm not making this to profit. I'm not making this for anything but my personal desire to have this. So I hope there's no like negative comments on me copying a store-bought pattern. Not that I could possibly even copy it, because anyway, I want to make it almost identical to the pattern. I don't want it to be too oversized. I want it to be a feminine silhouette, and I want that ruffle. That is what really drew me to the pattern. So I've done a couple of ruffle things for my daughter, my youngest, on sweaters and dresses, and I have confidence in myself that I can do this. So I will try to be consistent with my updates on this as I'm making this, as I'm, working my way through figuring out how to make this. But we'll see. So yes, this is my final possible winter net. Oh, and I didn't mention what yarn I'm using. I will be using double Sunday and a lace weight yarn. So I have some double Sunday. Oh. I'm using the pink ballet slippers, double Sunday. I can't find, oh, here it is. The pink, it's ballet slippers. The colorway is ballet slippers, and it is double Sunday and Tynn silk mohair. And I've had this double Sunday in my yarn collection forever. And I'm finally getting some use out of it. Yeah. This is a petite knit. I'm pretty sure it's like chocolate or something like that. It's a different brown than the Atlas that I talked about earlier. And I don't have any Tynn silk in this color, but I had purchased this alpaca, which is a slightly different shade, but it gives it an interesting, like, color combination. It gives it an interesting marl, and it doesn't really, like, look that, it's cute. It's a slightly marled effect, but nothing too significant. Oh. But yeah, those are my winter knit holiday gift knit plans for 2025 and 2026. There are a few other things that I really want to make too, but I will not get to it because I know me. I know myself. And I probably won't get to all of this for sure. The only thing I really am interested in knitting is this and the Wilbur Sweater from Sandnes Garn. I'll also include the link below to the free Wilbur Sweater in the description box below. And I will also include all the places where all the yarns, all the patterns, everything I talk about, I'll include below. So please don't worry about that. I've been asked before, and I have no problem responding. Please don't take that the wrong way. But I do get asked a lot. But I always include it below, so be on the lookout for it if you're interested. Thank you so much for watching me today and hearing me talk about my plans. My battery's dying again because I did not charge either of my batteries. So I will make this really quick. Thank you for watching.
Please follow me on Instagram, and if you haven't already liked and subscribed, I would love to have you following along with me. Thank you for watching, and happy holidays, and I will see you next time. Bye.